Welcome to Balanced Life with Debbie Carlin Boyle. Conversations connecting to a healthier you. The show that gives you all the latest and greatest health and wellness information to inspire you to live a life of balance and joy. Debbie Carlin Boyle is a health and nutrition coach, personal trainer, and fitness instructor who helps her clients live in balance with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plate. Please welcome your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle.
Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are Balanced Life, conversations that connect to a healthier you. I'm your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle. We have a great show about food today. We're going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart and many people's hearts for that matter. But before we do, I want to tell you that you can connect with us. So if you want to get involved and become part of our conversation, then you can call in here at 323-843-2826. Or you could go right now to my Facebook page where we are streaming live, which is Fit by Design. Even though my company is Balanced Life, you have to go to Fit by Design Facebook page. And you can make a comment, ask a question, and we will get right back to you. So now, today's show is all about food. And it's about the slow food movement. Slow food is not food that takes forever to get to the table. It is actually a concept of dining that combines whole foods that are locally grown. Back in 1989, the slow food movement was born in Italy to replace processed food with whole clean food. The idea was to encourage consumers to eat locally sourced food and then share the experiences. Dishes are made with health of the body and soul in mind, meals that are appreciated when eaten. Chef Rossana Radden has applied the principles of the slow food movement for over 21 years, creating personalized meal and diet plans which are always prepared with the finest, freshest seasonal foods, which are directly delivered to your door, if you should so desire. Rosanna's Kitchen delivers nutrient-dense meals made with locally sourced organic farm fresh ingredients. Rosanna aims to empower a lifestyle choice to eat healthy by serving her clients with superfood packed with alternatives, which is alternatives to classic comfort food. Rosanna also works with LA's leading physicians, nutritionists, university coaches, and fitness trainers, designing meals under their supervision and philosophy. She has come to the conclusion that eating a proper diet is the best health care you can provide for you and your family. Ain't that the truth? Oh, my goodness. Please welcome my guest today, Chef Rossana Radden, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you
applause,
so much.
Applause.
Thank you.
Rosanna brought food today. We're going to highlight it in a
Yes.
minute here. It smells really good in our studio.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. And this, I have to say, is not our first visit. When Della and I had our show,
Yes.
a little over a year ago, you were our guest.
Right.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
At
For the anniversary.
Yes.
For the 1 year.
Yeah, the 1 year anniversary of our
Correct.
show. And we were 2.5 years in when we parted in January to do our own show. So this is not the first time, but we're going to approach from a little different angle on the slow food movement and talk a little bit about it's the opposite of processed food and how your philosophy really runs into everything you do as a chef. But first, I want to hear a little bit about you, give our audience a little background on where you are from and how you got into doing what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me,
Oh,
Debbie.
thank you for coming
it's
back.
It's a pleasure to be your guest.
I'm honored, really. Thank you.
you.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Lima, from Peru,
From
South
Peru.
America, where we have very rich in our country. The food is it's a lot of diversity, and now we are famous for our food.
You are.
Yeah,
Peruvian
now,
food is
instead
people
of-
seek it out to go
Yes,
to.
now I think we open up to the world.
Yeah, because of why do you think that is? Flavors, textures,
not
the
only
foodie movement, or
Yes, the foodie movement, where everybody now is more conscious of what you are eating. People now, there is cooking shows everywhere, and it's this culture diversity, actually agriculture diversity.
Yes.
And how everybody's interested how our produce or meats are coming, how they are getting to our
How are
plate.
they sourced? Yeah, where they've coming
and
from
in
is
Peru,
really important.
for example, is the highlands, and we have thousands of diversity of just potatoes, which when I brought some, so you can taste
different types of
potatoes.
Yeah. It's
thousands of
interesting.
diversity, and some of them are more for purees, some for soups, some for roasting, some for grilling, and you have all of them. And it's not only Peru, it's all over the world.
Well, I think it's made its way now.
Yes.
Like you said, those food travel shows have really opened up the gates to people wanting to taste those diversity and flavors. And you now could go to like a Whole Foods, and like you said with the potatoes, you don't know what does what. They're all over, but in Peru, it's been there all along. So it's very cool now that it's made its way to the United States.
Yeah, and it's, Peru it's a small country compared to America, to United States, but we are very it's coast, highlands, and the jungle, and depending of the region, it has different foods because we have influences of Japanese, Italian, and our Spanish influence. So we mix them all, and
Just
all the time
multicultural flavors and things,
and a mix.
So
it tastes better, always.
So you grew up with this, which is that
Yes.
when your love of cooking, of food,
Yes.
of flavors, and all of that started in your home country?
Yeah, it's like, I'm Latin, so for us, a family is very important, and we always get together
For meals.
for meal. Even if somebody knock at your door, you're always offering them food. Everything is surrounding.
Food. I think, and I've talked about this on the show a lot, I think that food is love,
Yes, it is.
and one of the ways to share the love with others is through a meal that is either cooked together or cooked for some others. So that was a very big aspect of your culture.
Yes.
So what made you come to the States and decide to bring your philosophy and your way of cooking and your culture foods to this country?
I started as an aerobic instructor. And I used to do all these
I know about that,
but
yeah.
like aerobic instructor, the aerobics, remember, with Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Movement.
That's how I started, too.
And now it's back. Because we have now the Pilates and whatever, the bar.
Yeah.
But it was kind of her style. And so that's what I did. But then...
But you did it in Peru. That's what you did in Peru.
Yes, in Peru we used to do that too.
Okay,
Jane Fonda was big everywhere.
So that's how you started in Peru. You started you started with exercise.
Yes.
Okay.
My father was very much into fitness. So that was what we had to do.
What a great upbringing. Fitness and good food.
Yes.
Good fresh food.
Yes,
That's
we always,
fabulous.
my father all the time says, "You're a girl, come on. You go out and run around the block and then come back and you can watch TV." But that was the thing, that we have to keep moving. And TV was kind of like an entertainment, no more for an hour. And we always were active. And of course, my mother always used to cook. So we always have fresh food on the table. And cookies was for birthday parties. We never snack.
Oh my
We
God,
didn't
so
have-
opposite from what I grew up with
We
here in
didn't
the
have
States.
that ready fast food that you just open the package and eat it.
And-
Even the cookies were all well made.
Yeah, they weren't processed.
The coffee cakes were made at home for the week.
Yes.
So, and when we was
Fresh
a party, we
ingredients.
had, for example, Coca-Cola. We used to have that for a birthday party, but we didn't have it open the refrigerator, and we didn't have it there
Every day.
No.
Yeah.
The water, it was lemon water with sliced lemon, or cucumber water, things like that.
I hear that a lot from different cultures and
Yeah.
growing up, and that it was so much more natural. And the fast movement, for fast food movement was just coming into play when I was very young, when I was probably 10 years old. And it was all the rage was McDonald's. And every housewife on our block was, there were 4 kids in my family, and they were all running to get this fast processed food. And all of a sudden we lost sight of what was good for us.
Yeah.
And we really, and that's what, we're going to talk about today, is getting back, slowing down and taking a peek at and understanding what you're doing to your bodies and what you're putting in it. And it's so lovely that you got a great start to that. I call myself a processed kid, and that I had to undo all of that in order for me to, which I think is anybody is capable of doing, which is why I'm a health coach, is to help people rethink and change habits. Because you have a habit from the beginning of being healthy, good food source, exercise, movement. Treats were a special thing. They were made from scratch. They weren't something that you got from a package. That was how, so for you, nothing different. For a lot of people here in the United States and other places in the world for sure, those habits weren't the same when they were growing up. And to undo them as an adult, once things start falling apart, like you start to get heavy, you start to have health problems, you start to, your skin, your foggy brain, those things start to manifest. You've got to undo all those habits that brought you there in the first place. So that's why I love this whole philosophy of what you're doing. So why did you come to the States?
So when we came here, it was because of political reasons.
Okay.
Change of government. So that's why it.
How old were you when
pushes.
you came?
I was 18,
Oh,
19.
So you're a child,
actually. Yeah. And then is when you keep doing, running and doing all that. Then I start doing my aerobic lessons for Bali's.
Oh, Bali's Fitness,
introducing the step.
Right.
We used to have a step clinic on Saturday mornings to teach people how to use the step.
Right, that's
the
a
famous
whole,
step.
Yeah. Oh, I was so into that in
and
the
then
90s.
we would do the aerobic classes with microphone because we didn't have headphones. So you have to make sure you don't trip, with the cord. But then I had some clients that would come and says, I sweat a lot with the class. I'm doing great, but, I cannot lose that extra pounds. It's like I'm cardiovascular talking. I'm very fit now. Like I can walk, going the stairs up, down, but those pounds are not coming down.
Right.
So one day I got frustrated and I thought they probably will start thinking that my classes are not working. So I brought one of those meals in a little Tupperware and I said, come on. And she says, no. And I said, come on, it's a gift. And she says, oh my God, I lost 2 pounds. So then can you bring me more? And that's how we started.
Oh my goodness.
Start
So how long
bringing.
ago was that?
Wow, that was like
21 years ago?
my daughter was 3 years old.
Oh, and she's 30 now,
that is,
27.
tomorrow she's 30. So, it's like 27,
Wow.
years ago. So I started doing that, and then another client, and then that's how I make the switch, because I couldn't do the classes and the cooking.
Right.
Because I didn't have anybody that will do the cooking for me, so I was doing that, and it became too much work for me. Plus, I had energy that was very little, so I couldn't.
And
that's how I left the aerobics, and I started doing the food.
And so you have a real passion for the food part
I love
of it, the
doing
cooking.
It.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it's more than a payment or a check or whatever. Is for me to help them. And when they call me and I say, Rosanna, those turkey bolognese was unbelievable delicious. Oh, that make my day.
Yeah,
it
of
really
course.
Does.
And the fact is that they're getting this nutritious food that's coming. You are. So tell the audience about where you get your food from and your sources.
From Malibu, I have many friends that, believe it or not, it's not that they have a huge land. It's just on their garden. They start doing these small little parcels or boxes that they call.
Right, that put little.
And now you can rent
raised.
your box, and then you can first, of course, you have to prepare the soul to make it organic,
Right,
to make
exactly.
it fertile.
Yes.
And then you start planting your own. What I said, start with something very simple like herbs, and that doesn't have to have too much maintenance. And start doing that, and then you will get like, hooked to do more stuff.
Because it all starts
like
literally
carrots
sprouting, and
tomatoes and Brussels sprouts and all the greens that you can have. So I'm doing some on my backyard. I think I have a picture out of that. But I have friends that, believe it's probably as big as this table, but you can get like size-wise trash bags, like maybe 3 to 4 trash bags, just from this tiny box that you
of herbs
of
and vegetables and things, and then you have a salad right
and then
there.
What I do is I cover them with paper towels, okay, and I put it in a clean trash bag, and then you put it in the refrigerator. Believe it or not, it'll stay fresh for 2 weeks.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, it's not saturated, not packaged, I believe that it's the best way to store.
Myself, I'm attending an agriculture class that is made privately in a house in Malibu, and that is helping me so much to learn about the soil and not only that, about all what is
eco-friendly. So that
everything.
Sustainable is it's beyond just the food source.
If we love our body, we're standing on this ground, and we better treat it right and respect it. And
well, it's a full circle process, And, and I say this all the time to my audience, but longevity with quality is so important. And the way to have the quality of life really comes from how you take care of yourself, and it starts with how you feed yourself.
Yes.
So the source of the food, it's not just taking care of you, it's taking care of the places that the food is derived from, that comes from that eventually you're going to eat, and is going to be, it's the difference between nutrition or danger, and you becoming sick. You can feed your body well, or you can feed your body bad. And what I find is that I like this slow food movement, because it kind of goes in the philosophy. I have something called where eating mindful, being very mindful, and to crowd out. And crowding out is getting rid of the bad by slowly putting in the good. So like we were talking about before, the people that have created bad habits or started the way I did, as a processed kid, there is still hope. And it's just changing habits, and habits can be changed, 40 days or so. If you just slowly but surely change something, little increments at a time, it can become your new normal. And what I find is that it works if you don't think of it as a diet, but you think of a lifestyle change. Because, and I know we're going to talk about how diets don't work.
Well,
and,
no, they don't work.
Yeah, they're not sustainable, because we were going to talk about fad diets today, and how there's hundreds of fad diets. And does that come up with your clients? Do they ask you about, what
different
about
diets.
keto? And what about...
They come all these different diets all over. I think everyone, once in a lifetime, they try a diet. Any.
Yeah.
And
well, for a
them.
special occasion, a dress, a suit, or whatever you want to get in.
But why to go to an extreme? Too much protein or too much fat, or not this, not that. Yes, of course, you will lose because the shock to your body, you will lose the weight. It is juices and all that. But if you just take everything in moderation, and the amount.
Sorry, it's my dog. Ellie, come here. Elle, I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
She's coughing.
Everything in moderation. And you take all the nutrients, because we need all the nutrients. And because you will need some potato. You need the potato. You need carbohydrates.
Yes.
Not that I'm going to have a plate full of potatoes, but you need some starch. Because otherwise... someday you will crave it.
Yeah.
And
and then you go overboard.
But it's full of emotions.
Yes.
And we have life and we have stress. And
Right.
we don't want to go overboard. We need to have a balance, and a balance in everything.
Right.
It makes you succeed. So
like the
that's
source of the potatoes, saying, it's the way they're cooked
yes.
too.
The
source
way of the cook
and the way you
and
cook.
where
Those
you get
two
them,
things.
and
Yes.
from where you buy them.
Yes.
And
And how, whether they're if you're going to buy them fresh, whole food.
Yes.
The perimeter of the market. That's the way.
I am 52 years old. I run 7 miles 5 days a week. I
shows.
stay 10 hours standing on my feet cooking.
Yes.
I deliver, I go here, and you open my cabinet, I don't have a medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Knocking wood.
I'm with you,
But,
Rosanna, 100%.
I don't,
Yeah.
a headache, okay,
No.
let's breathe deeply,
No.
let's go for a yoga class, let's
Because
have
you
some more water.
understand self-care. You
and I
understand
have a
the importance of
30-year-old
food.
daughter,
Yeah.
and
And
I
look
think
at you.
I look
You look
okay.
amazing. No, you don't look okay. You're beyond average. Yeah, way beyond.
And
you know?
I love life, and I'm dancing, and I'm
so
Latin.
you're a perfect example of and so like for people, because we're down to our last 5 minutes, and I really
Yes.
want to talk about your food and how people can, because you do at home prep meals, pre-prep meals and delivery, which we talked about at the top of the show. And Kurt, can we show the food? Can we talk about what you brought here today?
Please.
And because you went to the trouble, so
this one is
so if you keep it down, our camera's on
okay.
it. So all you have to do is point
right.
to it. Right here.
that
So
one
there.
that one
There it
is
is.
the quinoa balls that I called.
Oh,
and
they're
this one
quinoa
is
balls.
vegan.
Wow.
Vegan because it doesn't have eggs in it.
Okay.
So is that
that's
for
this
yes,
right
and it has
here.
roasted broccoli.
Okay.
And you have my favorite sweet potato fries, which when they are not fries, they are broiled.
Okay.
But I call them fries because people love the name of it.
And sweet potatoes are so
they're
good
so
for
good
you.
for
They're
digestion and
so-
for your
yes.
skin, and it has
That's
vitamin
right.
C.
Big
And
time.
broccoli has protein, and they have calcium
Yes.
as well.
And it's a crucifix vegetable.
And
which is
quinoa from
really
where I
good for
come from,
digestion.
so
Yeah. It's quinoa balls. Very
yes.
cool.
So
And then the
and
middle
he has
dish
spinach.
looks like fish.
Oh yeah, that is from our neighbor from Mexico. That's what the fish tacos. And it's Cinco
okay.
de Mayo, so we celebrate, and we are still celebrating.
Yes,
So,
and fresh
so-
herbs. I can see
yes,
there's that
I
cilantro
have,
and
it has
radish.
jalapenos, it has radish, and it has cilantro, and it has lettuce as well, and it's corn tortillas.
Wow, that was
Yes.
like really good. And then
And the other one is our Italian flair, which one is the white puree is not potato, is cauliflower puree.
cauliflower. Yeah, that's
And I
substitutes for
include
potato.
our purple potatoes that is from Peru, and they are roasted. And then I have chicken parmigiana.
Oh my goodness. So and this kind of food. So do you customize these kinds of meals? Do your clients
Yes.
say, here's what I like,
Yes.
here's what I don't like,
Yes.
and then you say, here's what's healthy, here's what's not healthy, kind of thing.
Yes. So it's like it's very personalized. So depending on what your likes and dislikes, you will receive only what you like and you
Okay.
enjoy.
Right.
And that way it will make your food enjoyable.
Right.
And you will reach your goals.
Right. And so do you ever have to tell clients that's not healthy? Here's the way I cook. Do you give them a list of different items that they can choose from, all of which is within your repertoire of what you cook? Your menu?
I give them a menu, and of course, some of them are kind of skeptical because they want their diet wherever they are following it. But then, little by little, I say, could you just try 2 days on me and see if you're losing the weight? And if you feel, actually, let's forget about the weight, just feeling good.
Yeah.
And they say, perfect.
The weight
this
comes
is great.
naturally later.
It's
That's all.
perfect. It's great. Yeah, I think this, and then I start, helping them. And
Yeah. You do this, like you'll do 3 meals a day, 1 meal a
Yes.
day. How does it work?
I recommend breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That way you don't go to the market and it's all done and received. But some people likes breakfast. They have a routine.
Yeah.
So they prefer to do it on their own. So I do the lunch and dinner. And some of them they have luncheons, business luncheons that they don't like to bring the little the container. So they wanted only dinners. So I have the dinners for them. And some people like fresh breakfast. So I have a couple of clients where I go early morning and I make their breakfast.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, so you actually go and cook for them.
Yes.
So you cater, you do meal delivery,
Yes.
and you also do
Yes.
as a home chef.
Yes.
That's so fabulous. Tell my audience how people can get in touch with you if they want to taste this amazing food of yours.
Just call Rosanna at 310-384-9887.
And your website is?
Rosanna'sKitchen.com.
Okay.
But don't forget, it's double S and one N.
And there is another Rosanna Kitchen
Yeah,
there.
it's in Ireland. But so my name is double S, one N, and at the end of Rosanna is Rosanna's, an S, and kitchen.com.
Okay, rosannaskitchen.com.
Yes.
And there you can learn all about Rosanna and her
Yes.
meals and what she's doing. And I love the fact, and we don't have time today, but I love the fact that you get involved and work with doctors and
Yes.
nutritionists, and you
Yes.
work in clinics, and
Yeah.
you help people, again, change things slowly but surely
Yes.
through understanding how nutritious food can be.
And cooking lessons for the children as well in
Oh,
schools.
I love that.
So I'm trying to
So
volunteer.
important. Yeah.
Volunteer to them because we have to teach them.
That's where it starts. I
Yes.
started in the elementary schools in
Yes.
Malibu years ago
Yes.
when my 33-year-old
Yes.
daughter was in kindergarten. I
Yeah.
started making those changes and worked on a committee
And
to
they love
bring
it.
gardens and
Yes.
salad bars
Yes.
into our
schools.
cafeterias in the Malibu
Yeah.
Santa Monica School District.
Yeah.
We were a pilot program and we spread throughout.
and they love
it's
it.
in all the schools
Yeah.
now. So I was really proud of taking a passion and spreading it to
Mm-hmm.
the younger generation. And now my
Yes.
kids cook very healthy. It's
Yes.
part of what their habits are.
Yes.
So it's an important show, and I love what you do.
Thank
I
you.
thank you so much for your
My
time
pleasure.
and
My
for
pleasure.
bringing this
Enjoy it.
really wonderful,
Yes.
yummy food to us today. And I thank you for joining us. Go ahead and get a hold of Rosanna. Take a look at her website because what she's doing, it's beyond cooking. It really is. And food can heal and food can harm. So use food to heal because that's what we're all about here today. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to see you next week. Goodbye, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
for having
everybody.
me. Bye.